My name is Joseph, and I was traumatized at 14 years old. I was out in the park playing ball with my friends, who we will call Ivan, Vlad, and Nikita. Vlad had to go and study, so he left, and a few hours later, Nikita went home too. Instead, Ivan and I decided to stay for a little while longer, and continued playing ball for a few hours until it was 11 o'clock. In the pitch black, we walked home, worried more of our parents' anger than the dangers of the night. We were leaving the empty park when a boy who was about 16 stopped us. He wore all black clothing, which weirdly contrasted his neon football boots. He introduced himself as Draven and asked if I wanted to play. Immediately, I felt uncomfortable and was about to respectfully decline and just walk past when Ivan stopped me and said that there was no harm in staying for another hour, because our parents would be mad either way after all. I reluctantly agreed to play with him until midnight. We started playing ball, and surprisingly Draven had an awesome left foot. We also struck up a conversation, and we learned that Draven went to a school nearby. He loved playing football and video games, as well as sneaking out at night to practice football. He had aspirations to make it to the big leagues, and said that it was impossible without putting in the hard work. He seemed interesting and very polite, and friendly as well. I started to like Draven, and Ivan seemed to adore him. Eventually, when Ivan and I were about to go, as it struck midnight, Draven offered us some chewing gum. Ivan grabbed it out of his hand and gnawed away. I was a bit cautious at first, but gave in. The gum felt weird. It had me want to have it more. I looked over to Ivan, whose eye was a little twitchy. Instinctively, I asked if he had any more. Draven then said that he had hundreds of those gums at his house, and that he was also throwing a little party. If we came, he could give us some more. We agreed and left. He led us through the park into the dark forest, and we walked through for what seemed like over an hour before we reached a rundown, shabby, broken abandoned shack with a black van that was parked right in front of the house. But sure enough, we could hear loud music, the windows flashing with colors, and even what seemed like a woman's yelling. We walked inside the house. Before me was a group of men, much older and much bigger than Ivan and I, each holding an implement of pain, whether it was a bat, crowbar, or rope. They loomed over us, and one grabbed Ivan's wrist. That's when I bolted out of the front door. I had zero hesitation. It was only my quick reflexes which had saved me that night. I didn't stop running until I reached my house, and it was only then that I realized that I left Ivan behind. I pounded at my door and fell into my dad's arms, sobbing. The rest of my family had come downstairs, curious as to what the ruckus was all about. I told them in hushed whispers of what had happened, and immediately phoned Ivan's parents and then the police. They investigated the building and found nothing, claiming that the owner of the house had died some time ago. I recounted what I had seen to them, and with this information, they launched a search across the entire woods. Sure enough, they eventually found a recently dug hole where they uncovered the bodies of over 100 youths, the youngest being 4. Ivan had been beaten badly and his body used to store drugs. They even found my other friend Vlad. He had been killed just an hour before Ivan. But what scared me the most was the note that had been left on my pillow the next night. In bloody writing, the words, "You were lucky."